All right. Time now on the In Real Time Car Talk Show for Konrad's This Week in Auto History.
Well, I thought an important person in time in the automotive history. It was 35 years ago that legendary auto designer Bill Mitchell passed away in 1988. And if you look at his history, he started with a 1949 Cadillac, with the origination of tail fins. And then actually he moved on to the Corvair Monza SS, which doesn't look like a what you think a typical Corvair. I actually think there's a lot of Opel GT in that.
Corvette.
Well,
Corvette.
Yeah. And then, you mentioned Corvette. He was involved in the Corvette Special Racer, which was the race car Corvette for the 63 Corvette. And then he was also the designer of the 63 Corvette split window. And the split window was very controversial. Zora didn't like the split window, but Mitchell loved it because of the design of it. He thought it was very, very important.
Well, wasn't one of the main reasons is they couldn't get the glass to go totally across?
The glass
technology
hadn't advanced. And then in 64 they did. They took the split out of it. Mitchell also had a 1966 Oldsmobile GT two-seater built, which was, big 425 front-wheel drive two-seat Oldsmobile, which I thought was kind of a cool thing. And then in 66, he did a Corvair GT as well. Again, his involvement in the Corvair side of things. Mitchell was also the designer of the original Corvette Mako Shark from 1967. Well, that's the 65 Riviera.
We saw it. It went by.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then and Mitchell, his love of the Buick brand, and he did a lot of the different Rivieras through the years. And that was always one of my favorite, the little boat tail on the Riviera, which was kind of an iteration of the Corvette rear glass as well. And then he did the Astro 1, the Astro 2, and the Astro 3, which are all considered design studies of future Corvettes.
I need that chair. Look at that chair. Isn't that awesome? It's got a Cadillac logo on it. Christmas is coming.
So, and then, also Mitchell did the 1970 Camaro, and the 1970 it lasted through 81 Camaro were all a bit of Mitchell designs. That's the Manta Ray Corvette that he did as well. And then the final thing was the 1977 Pontiac Phantom, which was his final design, was the Pontiac Phantom. He was involved in the Monte Carlos as well, the 70, 73 Monte Carlos, which I always thought was the start of that personal luxury car, the Grand Prix Monte Carlo, that whole generation. This is the Phantom. If you look at the Phantom, Mitchell had a very retro view of things. The red inside fenders, which is a retro thing out of a 50s model Buick. And you look at the nose on that Phantom, and you can definitely see the Pontiac family to it. Very, very famous person within car design. He'd worked with Harley Earl in his early season at General Motors, and then ran GM Design later in his life. And huge impact on automotive design through time.
Very good. Thank you, sir. That's it.